Good morning students. Today we are going to see what is meant by state model, what is the representation of the state model. So from the control system block diagram, how we are going to write the state equation and output equation. Next we are going to see what is the state model of your linear MIMO. MIMO is nothing but multiple input and multiple output system. So we have to focus our analysis towards the navigation of your state model. As discussed earlier, it is the block diagram of your multiple input, multiple output, multiple input and multiple output system. As shown over here, input is represented with the letter U, output is represented with the letter Y, and state variable is represented with the letter X. Input ranges from 1 to M, output ranges from 1 to P, and the state variable varies from 1 to n. So when you write it in the form of a matrix form, u of t, that is the complete applied input u of t, is equal to how many inputs you have applied over here, that you need to represent it inside the matrix. That is here till u1 to um. So we can write it as u1 of t, u2 of t, u3 of t, and so on till um of t. Same thing, y of t is equal to y1 of t, y2 of t, y3 of t till yp of t. Then what is a number of state variables till xn you are having? So x of t is equal to x1 of t, x2 of t, x3 of t, and it goes on till xn of t. So it is the basic representation of your input, output and state variable in matrix form. The complete state variable is known as your state vector, that is x of t, and this state variable is responsible to identify the complete behavior of your dynamic system. Next, in generally, we know that the state variables are represented using first order differential equation. So x1 can be written as dx1 by dt, x2 can be written as dx2 by dt, x3 can be written as dx3 by dt. Likewise, the nth state variable is written as dxn divided by dt. So this dx1 divided by dt can be written as x1 dot. So x is nothing but your state variable, that is state variable representation. So always the state variables are represented using first order differential equation. So the state variable representation is a function of your state variable and input variable. So for writing your x1 dot, you can write it as f1 of x1, x2, x3 till xn, and also it is a function of your input variable. You can write it as u1, u2, u3 till um. Same, likewise you can write x2 dot is equal to f2 of x1, x2 till xn. Similarly u1, u2, um. Likewise you can write the nth state variable representation xn dot is equal to fn of x1, x2, x3 till xn, u1, u2, u3 till um in vector notation. So this is all these equations completely describes the first order linear differential equation, which is nothing but your state space representation. In vector notation, if you write it, in general you can write it as x dot of t is equal to f of x of t comma u of t. It is for linear time invariant system. Suppose if your if your state variable is varying, or if your input variable is varying with respect to time, then the state variable representation, that is x dot of t, can be written as f of x comma t comma u of t comma t. So why in the sense? Because either your state variable or input variable varies with respect to time. So if this particular equation holds good for your time variant system, the nx function vector can be written as f of dot is equal to f1 of dot. Likewise, here it is not only one function will be having nx function vector. So those nx function vectors can be written as f of dot is equal to f1 of dot, f2 of dot, f3 of dot till fn of dot. Here x dot of t will represent your state equation, y of t represent your output equation. So y of t is equal to, here your state equation is represented as a function with f of x comma u. Here your output equation y of t is represented with the g as a function of x and u. In case of your time invariant system, y of t is equal to g of x of t comma u of t. In case of your time varying system, you need to add the time factor because your state variable and input variable are going to vary with respect to the signal. So y of t is equal to g of x of t comma u of t comma t. State equation and output equation will constitute the complete state model of the system. Now we'll be seeing linear state model of your linear MIMO system. In the previous session, we have seen how to arrive for your state equation and output equation. And in this class, how we will arrive for the matrix, that is state matrix and output matrix, state equation matrix and output equation matrix in case of your linear multiple input, multiple output system. So the complete state model of the system consists of both state equation and output equation. State model, suppose if they are asking you to they will give a problem and ask you to arrive for the state model. So if they are asking to arrive for the state model, then we need to solve for both state equation as well as your output equation. So here when you see for a multiple input and multiple output system, x is the representation of your state variable. Always the state variable are represented using first order differential equation. So we are writing it as x1 dot, x2 dot, x3 dot until xn dot. And also we know that the state variable is a state variable representation, that is x1 dot is a function of your state variable as well as your input variable. So you need to expand it. So at x is equal to x1, the constant is a11. It means that as time goes on, it is for a linear time invariant system. So when with respect to the time, that is when the time with respect to time, your parameter is not going to get changed. So we can write it as a11, that is constant with respect, constant towards x1, constant towards x2, constant towards xn. Same thing, constant towards your u1, constant towards your u2. So likewise, if you expand and write, you will get a11 x1 plus a12 x2 plus a1n xn plus b11 u1 plus b12 u2, and it goes on till b1m into um. Same way, x2 dot is equal to a21 because it is your second state equation representation for your next input. So x2 dot is equal to a21 x1 plus a22 x2, and likewise it goes on till a21 xn. Same thing, you have to write it for as a function of u also. So when you compare this equation with the previously analyzed one, so your state variable representation is a function of your state variable and input variable. So you are just expanding and writing. Here aij is none, bij is nothing but a constant coefficient. So you can, the above all these equations can be compressed and written in the form of a matrix as shown over here. So in vector matrix form, here x1 dot, x2 dot, x3 dot, it is your A matrix, x1, x2 till xn. It is the state variable. Like if you have n number of state variables, you can write it as x1, x2, x3 till xn. And if you have m number of input, you can write it as u1, u2, u3 till um. It is the constants that is associated with your input parameter, and it is represented with the matrix B. The constant associated with your state variable is A, and it is represented in the matrix A. So this complete matrix can be written in the vector form as x dot of t is equal to A x of t plus B u of t. This equation is known as your state equation. Now similarly, we need to write your output equation. So previously we have seen the output equation is a function of x and u. So G you are representing. So it means that it is some other matrix, not A and B. Similarly, you can write y1 of t is equal to c11 x1 of t plus c12 x2 of t. Likewise, it goes on till c1n into xn of t. As it is a function of your state variable and input variable, you have to write both your state variable expansion as well as your input variable expansion. After expanding the output variables, you can write it in the form of a matrix as shown over here. So in case of your output matrix, output equation, your state variable is associated with the constant C, whereas your input variable is associated with the constant D. So we can write C and D as a constant coefficient. Therefore, your output equation can be written as y of t is equal to C x of t plus D u of t. The combined state equation and output equation for a linear time invariant system is x dot of t is equal to a x of t plus b u of t. Output equation y of t is equal to c x of t plus d u of t. So it is your state equation and output equation. And also we know that the constant associated with the state equation is a, b, and the constants associated and the constant coefficient associated with your output equation y of t is c and d, where a is nothing but your evolution matrix or system matrix, b is nothing but your control or input matrix, c is nothing but your output matrix, d is your transmission matrix. We should identify the order of the matrix. So it is nothing but your state equation, right? So it is state equation means you have n number of state variables. Therefore, the order of A will be n cross n. And B is also associated with the state equation, and depending upon the number of state variables, you are going to get first order differential equation. So if you are, this is also associated with your state variable number. So here you will get n. And what is the range of your input? The input ranges from 1 to m. So you will get n cross m. To identify the order of the matrix for C, how many outputs we have? We have p number of outputs. And how many number of state variables? N. So the order of the matrix C is equal to p cross n. Now you should identify the order of the matrix D. So what is the number of output associated with the Y? P number of outputs. How many inputs? M input. Therefore, the order of the matrix D is equal to P cross M. So this is how you can remember the order of the, how to frame the order of the matrix. So in the next class, we will be describing how to draw the state model for a given circuit, how to write the state equation, how to write the output equation, what are the disadvantages of physical variable over state variable. So in the next class, we will be dealing with all these topics. Thank you, students.